We have a tremendous number of assets. Of course, we have our challenges, and I'll talk about a few of them. Let's talk about some of the assets of this great city. Perfectly situated between those, I don't have anything against New York and D.C. I go there from time to time, love going, love coming back to Philadelphia. We're perfectly situated between the financial capital of the world and the government capital of the world. 40% of the country's population lives within a day's drive of Philadelphia. We're about to expand the Pennsylvania Convention Center, the largest economic development project in the history of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're going to move up to about 6th largest in the country to promote more hospitality and tourism and conventions right here in Philadelphia, a major business in this city. Over 50,000 people depend on hospitality and tourism in Philadelphia for their livelihoods, more than 100,000 in the region. This is a regional asset and a regional business. It needs to be supported. I know we have challenges. None of these challenges are insurmountable, and with hard work and the support of many in the business community and the political community, we can make that project and many others go forward. Think about our regional asset of a transportation system, the value of which is in the billions of dollars if anyone ever tried to replicate what we have in the 5-county region. You can go anywhere on 5 different modes of transportation in this great city. Our airport usage is up. We obviously have some challenges out there. I'd like to remind many of you that the city of Philadelphia does not handle baggage, nor do we fly airplanes. We just run the rest of the operation, and we're trying to make sure that our partners out there, the airlines, are working in a way that we can reduce the downtime and the delays and get you your baggage in a reasonable period of time. We have a great city of neighborhoods, but we're one big city with diversity as one of our strengths. We have a waterfront yet to be developed, and I know that there are challenges down at the waterfront and complaints and concerns about the kind of development that may take place. But no matter what happens down there, we still have a great waterfront. And it's time for us to get beyond the last 40 to 50 years of talking and studying and wringing our hands and talking about what we can or cannot do. There is no reason in the world why our waterfront should not be the best in the United States of America. And the only thing holding us back is us. We need to cut it out. We need to get over ourselves and start moving forward and developing the waterfront like Boston and New York and Baltimore and many others across this country have been able to do. Last night I talked about today being a new day and a new way of conducting business here in this city. And I think that's what this campaign has been about, that the voters would reach out and grab a guy who, as Zach said, I was 5th in the race, and I was the first one who got in. I mean, you have to love politics in Philadelphia. It is the ultimate full-contact sport. How is it possible that the first person in the race can actually be in 5th when the other 4 candidates haven't even showed up yet? But that's our great city. I mean, it truly is wonderful. But voters said that they wanted change and they wanted reform, and they wanted someone who had experience in city government, which is experience that I've had for 14 and a half years, working with the chamber, working with the Committee of 70 on some of the toughest issues that have faced the city over the last 15 years. It's been exciting, it's been dynamic, but I did then decide I needed to do something else and take more risk and put myself out there. And so, yes, I did quit my job. Many thought it was too early, but we had a sense that we needed more time, and we had a game plan and a strategy. Didn't exactly know how it was all going to come to fruition, but we had faith and hope and confidence that we were going on the right path. And so I'm going to need your help to make this city work. I will need your help, and I'm not so shy that I can't ask for help, because I think that it's critically important. And if anyone thinks that the 22,000 of us over at City Hall or MSB or One Parkway or wherever all the other employees are, if you think that we're going to do it all by ourselves, I have another thought for you. It's not going to happen. There is a shared responsibility. There is a sense of partnership that is required in order for us to get things done. And I need your help and support, especially in the business community and the larger, broader regional partnerships that we have to develop. There are many things that you can do. Volunteer efforts, business support, community engagement, supporting after-school programs, working with our school system, and also helping us to tackle some of the toughest problems this city has faced. Howard Myers told me, I missed his comments, but I have a sense of his discussion about the issue of violence. Obviously today, one of the worst days in the city's most recent history, we have the funeral of Officer Chuck Cassidy, a literal assassination of a Philadelphia police officer that played out just in the past week. 342 Philadelphians have been killed this year, 406 last year. There is a crime problem in this city, and the city government by itself cannot solve this problem. And it is in your best interest that we solve this problem, because as it plays out on the headlines in Philadelphia and across this country, it is not good for business that on CNN, in the New York Times, on MSNBC, and virtually any other major news channel nationally is talking about Philadelphia in ways that are not good for business. And so business has a role. And the Chamber of Commerce supported an effort that I put forward with regard to an ex-offender program. But there are many other things that you can do. And if we're really going to solve the crime problem, the poverty problem, and many other issues that challenge us here in the city, this business community, the larger community that is involved in good government and ethics reform and the many wonderful things that you do, work with us on whether changing laws in Harrisburg or in Washington, advocating for more funding for public education, working to create more job opportunities. You've already demonstrated that you can create more job slots in the summer. Joe Frick and the Chamber of Commerce increased the number of summer jobs from 400-something to a little over 1,000. We need to double that next year, next summer for these young people, and then continue to double for many years to come. We have to put people to work, and whether they're a little older or somewhat younger, when people are working, when they're actively engaged, they don't have time to be involved in what goes on out in our streets. And so we're either going to redeem people and give them a second chance, or we're going to condemn hundreds of thousands of Philadelphians to a life of crime out on the streets. I think it's cheaper for us to give a company a $10,000 tax credit against their business privilege tax rather than spend $32,000 to keep someone in jail. You don't have to be Albert Einstein